Well, looks like OnlyFans is going to stick with the money on this, and they are going to just keep at it with the agenda, basically. You'll see what I mean in a few minutes. OnlyFans drops plan to ban sexually explicit content. Social media subscription service OnlyFans Ltd. reversed the decision to ban sexually explicit material, changing course after an uproar from creators and sex workers who had to come to rely on the platform as a source of income. Just last week, the site said it would ban explicit content as of October 1st, shifting instead to a model that has increasingly relied on helping celebrities connect to their fan bases. That decision was forced in part because of the pressure from banking and paying services, the London-based company had said. In a tweet on Monday, OnlyFans said it's secured assurances necessary to support its content creators and won't go through with the previously announced policy change. OnlyFans stands for inclusion, and we will continue to provide a home for all creators, the company said. The reversal comes one day after OnlyFans founder Tim Stokely pinned the initial decision on opposition it faced from banking service providers. Bank of New York Mellon Corp flagged and rejected wire payments tied to the company, making it difficult to pay our creators. Stokely said in an interview with the Financial Times, the banking declined to comment to the paper. Now let's see what the sex workers have to say. Sex workers use OnlyFans to sell explicit content to their followers, and celebrities had piled on as a way to sell more traditional photos and videos to their fan bases. When the pandemic hit and people were forced indoors, many sex workers who previously earned their living performing in person turned to online shows. The company had planned to allow some nude photos and videos even after the ban, but that left creators questioning where OnlyFans would draw the line between what's acceptable and what violates its rules. The company had held talks to raise new funding at a company valuation of more than $1 billion, Bloomberg News reported in June. Though it doesn't need the money, the company is profitable and had been on a pace to generate more than $5 billion in sales this year, taking a 20% cut of every payment sent to the content creators. A major institutional investor, however, would lend legitimacy to a site increasingly known for adult content. Creators' dilemma. Now, several sex workers say they are reluctant to trust OnlyFans and would transition to other companies that offer similar services. They've lost a ton of trust, said Mia Lilly, a 19-year-old who's earning more than $20,000 a month on OnlyFans. I won't be going back. Most girls I know aren't. Savannah Solo, 23, had been selling access to content on OnlyFans since January 2020 and regrets not branching out to other platforms. It's my only source of income, she said. That's a mistake I won't ever make again. I'll be using different sites now. Even so, the potential opportunity of working on a leading platform in the market may prove too strong to ignore. One performer who goes by Ellie Squishy said there may be no choice because many clients already have accounts with OnlyFans and might not bother entering all their credit card details in another site. Even if we hate OnlyFans and we'll always be afraid they'll pull this again, a lot of us are going to just pick where the money is at, Squishy said. Creator Erica Cherry said she would plan to upload all of her chips to another site, ready to promote at a moment's notice. She questioned whether the whole thing was an elaborate stunt to get attention. My hope is that voices of the sex worker community were heard by the banks, Cherry said. That would be the best outcome. Oh boy, this is a joke at times. Oh gosh, this is a joke. And people, they think that they won some sort of victory, and the real end game is the fact that when you're going to want to settle down, that is the kicker. When you want to settle down, when your kids start growing older, right, and they get teased at school because their mother is on OnlyFans, and they have to get into fights at school because their mother is being a thought online. They think they've won. They haven't won anything. Okay? And this is what's going on. I'll show you what I mean by the agenda. Okay? We have another video right here. Let me show you. All right. This is an article that's a couple of months old, but it's still relevant. All right. Okay, it's here. All right, here we go. The Ohio State University. Ohio State University holds seminar promoting OnlyFans porn platform to students. I told you there was an agenda with this. Okay, a student group at the Ohio University held a seminar last month appearing to promote OnlyFans as a part of its annual Sex Week. OnlyFans is the platform where people sell nude and sexy photos and videos of themselves, as well as pornographic live streams. Starting on OnlyFans, join us for the panel with OnlyFans content creators to discuss their experiences and destigmatizing digital sex work. Read the group's registration page. This is what they're selling in college now. College is no place will be safe. This is what they're selling in college now. This is what they want to teach your daughters when they turn 18, when they go off to college. This is what's going to be, taught. The 1 hour week took place on February 20th and was hosted by Student Advocates of Sexual Health Awareness, SASHA. The group status is marked as pending on the university website, although the organization has appeared active on campus. It's unclear whether its funding comes from the public school that receives the federal tax dollars. Last year, the Ohio State University ranked in $43 million in the emergency pandemic and passed by Congress. According to Sasha's page on the school's website, members are not charged dues. Representatives for Sasha did not immediately respond to the federalist inquiries. The mission of Sex Week, according to the group's website, is to educate our community about sexual health in all its forms. Do you believe this? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We believe that realistic sexual health is interdisciplinary and includes non-traditional topics like the LGBTQ sex ed, healthy masculinity, gender equality, and reproductive rights, reads the mission statement. We aim to connect our peers through dynamic, comprehensive activities that are geared towards the needs of our community. Other seminars held during Sex Week in February includes events entitled Decolonizing Porn, Why We Need Ethical Production, and Abortions Explained Plainly. The seminar on OnlyFans appears to be new on sex lineup, added this year to the program launched in 2019. This is the nonsense that is going on with this agenda with OnlyFans. I told you there's an agenda with this. Clearly, there's an agenda with this. Okay? And people want to act, you have some females, sad to say, you have some African-American females who, feel that it's sexist that men are, against OnlyFans. And no. It's the fact that, this is ruining women, period, and ruining their chances of being able to date men, that is worth a damn. That's the issue. And women are only going to find out too late that men are not going to take them seriously if you work OnlyFans or you've had a past of being a sex worker. No man wants to date a woman or marry a woman who's been everybody's toothbrush. This is what women is not getting. It's not understanding. And this is what's happening in the UK. Desperate students turn to sex and OnlyFans after lockup kills pub and shop jobs. Desperate students selling sex to make ends meet are behind a surge of pleas for help to the prostitutes union. College girls are going to a union for prostitutes to get work while they try to finish their college education. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see how this is just a way to target young women who are in college and they cannot pay for their college tuition? See how OnlyFans, how the sex industry is targeting women, and they're trying to say this is empowerment. This is not empowerment. You don't hear about the stories about how children are made from these type of line of work. This is what you don't hear about. The English Collective of Prostitutes said calls its helpline from young people at university and college have risen by a third in 2021. And the campaign group has seen a surge in the numbers selling sex since lockdowns sent students' finances into a free fall. Many sell explicit pictures of themselves on sites like OnlyFans, as traditional bar and shop jobs have dried up. Now, as many as 8 students a day are calling for support and advice, and some universities are publishing guides on how to safely sell your body. Laura Watson, a spokeswoman for the group, said, "We have seen significant increase in students going into the prostitution as tuition fees increase. Some women in our group are working to pay off debts of $30,000 plus." Sophie says her parents didn't approve of her side job. Oh boy. Since the pandemic, a lot of women have been getting in touch, starting sex work, jobs in shops and pubs that students who are traditionally have taken have not been available, especially during the pandemic. There just aren't a lot of options out there, and women have to find a way to survive. The ECP, founded in 1975, campaigns for the decriminalization of sex workers and improve rights and safety. How about help these women get legal, credible jobs? How about that? Calls include the inquiries from students who are now new to sex work and want to know their rights, but some seek help after being hounded by clients. You see what they have to go through now, okay? They don't tell you about the dangers of sex work, how they're hounded by predators. A good example of this is watching the movie The Players Club, when Myron was going after the main character because he saw it. He paid for her dances and stuff. He thought he was entitled to her body and followed her home. This is not something that is uncommon. This happens to a lot of women who are into the sex work industry. This puts you in the crosshairs of creeps, weirdos, and predators. Miss Watson explained, during the first lockdown, there was a mass wave of women going online, and OnlyFans was one of the biggest ones people went to. We've been dealing with stalking and harassment cases specifically related to this, where people say clients are persistently getting in touch with them. Some women have had their content stolen and reposted somewhere. Others say clients have somehow got their personal details and posted them in other forums. Valued at over $725 million, OnlyFans has boomed in the pandemic. Founded by Essex businessman Tim Stokely, as of December, it had more than 1 million people posting its private pictures, up from 120,000 in 2019. The increase in students opting to carry out sex work online has raised other safety concerns, Ms. Watson said. She explained people are having to compromise anonymity to make the money they need. Of course, because, you have to. This is the thing. They say if sex workers show empowerment, okay, put your real name, okay? Tell them your real name and tell them you do sex work. Let's see how empowering you feel after that. Those making money from sex work in person before the pandemic went on OnlyFans and realized how you have to produce so much content to make money, and it's really hard to do that without including your face and voice in the videos. What, you thought this was going to be easy? Things people have never dreamt of being on a website are now creeping online because it's the way to make money. A poll of 3,200 students last year claimed that 4% were selling sex to fund their courses. 1 in 10 said they would do it in a cash emergency. The ECP saw a significant increase in the numbers turning to sex work after universities' costs skyrocketed under the austerity measures introduced by the conservative and Lib Dem coalition government a decade ago. Former Lib Dem leader Nick Clegg built his 2010 election campaign on a promise to abolish $30,000 a year tuition fees, only to triple them instead. Undergraduates can pay up to $9,250 a year, and hundreds of thousands end up with massive debts. Meanwhile, the average student rent was $547 a month last year, or $640 in London, according to the Times Higher Education. Okay, then that would mean that you guys have to, I hate to say it, but you guys are going to have to drop getting a higher education and get a trade. That's all I can say. Find the biggest, highest paying trade to find and do that instead. The Workers' of England Union is calling for reform to tackle student living costs. General Secretary Stephen Morris said universities shouldn't leave it to potentially unscrupulous landlords to require exonerate fees. Living costs need to be controlled because landlords are trying to get as much as they can out of it, which can increase debt for students. The financial cost increase means students might either give up or go into certain lines they shouldn't be. It's appalling if students feel they have no choice but to turn to sex work. You wonder what other illegal avenues others will turn to. Universities that have published guidance relating to student sex workers have come under fire, with some critics accusing them of legitimizing and encouraging the trade. But that's what they're doing. This is what Decrim New York is doing. This is in the United States. This is what Decrim New York is doing in my state of New York, trying to make sex work legal. And this is what they're trying to do all over the world, preferably in first world countries, because they're trying to make it seem like sex work is real work. So if it's real work, then it means it's on the same par as a regular, normal woman who goes and works a 9 to 5. Or no matter how many hours she works, that she doesn't have to strip and show her body in the process. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a prostitute equal to a normal working woman. That's what's happening. You could read the rest of the article. I put the link in the description box. Okay. But this is what's going on. Okay. This is what we will be dealing with. Okay. If you have daughters, you should be very, concerned about this. All right. Or, hey, you never know, because with modern women, women who are feminists, they'll try and say this is all right. Sex work is real work. They will say that, and they will try to shame men into dating these type of women. Now that, even more that OnlyFans has given up the explicit video ban. All right. Tell me what you think in the comments. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm also on Podbean, Anchor.fm, Facebook group, Points of View. Check it out. And like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.